It's a kick to win it.
It's all right. Started thinking about organising it 2 years ago. We thought it was going to be just a high performance group going, but that's not what happened. It just grew popularity right throughout the club, and loads of guys joined in, and we thought, yeah, that's great. You know, whoever wants to go, they're more than welcome.
It did really excite me, the fact that I'd get to see so many boys from outside of the performance programme. Now, obviously we had a few lads who I knew. There's a few in the performance programme, obviously such as Ben Murphy, Will Dempster, etc. But there was lots of them who I'd never met before, and I'd never spoken to.
The opportunity sort of came up to sort of go and play against South African unis and players. I just sort of saw it as a bit of a challenge, and obviously the fun around going on tour as well sort of appealed to me, but probably just the challenge of playing against a different style of rugby than to the Welsh teams. It was all pretty exciting. All the boys obviously hadn't really all had a chance to train together. I think we had a first training session, I think it was the day we arrived.
Should we get together? Let's just go, okay? Let's just play. We haven't got a massive lineup by any means. We tap, we go, keep the ball on the park, okay? The first training session was really sort of low key. We hadn't long got off the plane. We'd obviously driven up to Pretoria. And it was, a lot of balls being spilled and so on. You think, oh, wow. So it's about a matter of just cobbling some sort of set piece together and, you know, really going out there to enjoy themselves and play. Nice,
With the place that we were staying, it was perfect, really. We did most of our training there. So for the first couple of days, that enabled us to gel as a squad.
Take a half step back, we take it down a little bit, turn it down a little bit. We're not used to this attitude, are we?
Exactly what Adil said, boys. It's a training session, it's a team run, just slow it down a little bit. Too many drop balls, it's killing our momentum. Just slow it down a bit, we go through the rhythms and then we pick her up, yeah? Everything nice, it's looking alright shape-wise, just take our breaths and we just go now, nice and easy, yeah?
The boys were really excited. We could see the facilities we were training with. We've seen that there were loads of junior South African. There was football, the Bulls rugby women's are training there, so it was good facilities, and we were all quite looking forward to start the rugby. The first session probably wasn't the best, but there was a good buzz.
We'll do 2 on the legs, 2 on the chest, and then 2 claps. Okay. Ready? 2, 3. Woo!
The whole tour was packed every single day. And that's important when you've got sort of 40 young men all together. You know, if you leave them to find their own way, then they just get up to mischief, don't they?
Oh, nice, they've got Easter eggs on that. What flavour?
How hard is it? How hard is it?
Hope it's dairy milk.
So to go somewhere like that was educational, and we had a laugh as well. So like playing the old bongo drums was a good bit of fun.
The drums was like quite cool, although it definitely hurt my hands. Like that's some real skill, isn't it, to like be able to play the drums like they do.
We are only visited by 5 ethnic groups, 5 different cultures. So if you take a look at
it's just nice to learn about something new like you're in a new place with lots going on around you, and like the whole purpose, I suppose, of like that cultural village is it gives you like a snapshot into life, what it's like there, and the different things that are going on around it.
The Zulus communicate with their ancestors. Before building this other hut, they started with this one first. And these are the signs just to show that this is the most respected hut.
Seeing all the different tribes of where everyone originated from. I think there was 5 tribes, if I can remember. I can't remember the names of them, but yeah, seeing the historic and cultural side of South Africa was really quite breathtaking, to be honest. Like, it's like something I wouldn't have imagined of like how passionate they are about their ancestry, and yeah, it was really interesting. As much as we were enjoying ourselves, when it came to game day, I'm pretty sure everyone was determined to win. There was a mood switch.
Luckily, we were the stronger side pretty early on. But yeah, the heat and the altitude sort of at Wits, for me specifically in the front row was pretty difficult. I think a few of the other front rowers were struggling at some point.
I just loved the boys' attitude that day. You know, they all pulled an archer on that day and they gave everything. You know, they didn't care about the opposition. Everybody gave 100%.
Welcome to our program. Just in a nutshell, the program that we're doing is obviously we give opportunities to kids to play sports, academic recreations as well. We're based with 5 schools here in Langa. Not all 5 schools are equipped, not all 5 schools are equipped to be able to have their own rugby team, to be able to have academics, to be able to have recreational outing. So we work with them and trying to give them opportunities to play sports, and with the hope of actually trying to build better human beings. We're not trying to build Springboks. Yeah, if kids become Springboks, well, good for them, but we're actually trying to be build better human beings.
Call him Jerry, okay?
Jerry.
Jerry and his Tom. We'll put you in 2 teams. There we go, pass the ball. Thank you. So, 1.
The chap that sort of ran the initiative said that they get a meal when they're there, and that's a main reason why that lots of them come, why their families send them, which obviously we were all gobsmacked by. But the chance to sort of spend sort of just a few hours with these children, from our point of view, and probably just as much as their point of view, we got so much out of it, sort of learning about the bigger picture really, in terms of sport and what a sport can do for, you know, different people all around the world, rather than sort of just in our little bubble back here.
Make your bread basket. Go. Oh, what a step. Good job. Try time.
As staff, we probably had like a bit of a chat that we knew it was going to be one of probably like the most humbling experiences. Like we were hoping almost as well that like you boys would be like, okay, like take it all in, and just a real opportunity to almost be like so grateful for like who we are and what we have, but also then grateful that in that moment then we get to have that moment with them.
You couldn't believe some of the states people were living in, and it was such a humbling experience, seeing how happy the kids were with us training, like some of them with 1 shoe, some of them with like ripped clothes. Seeing how happy they were to be a part of what we were doing was so humbling, and I've never ever felt more humbled in my life, seeing how actual people live in this world. It's cruel to think that people live like that. It was I can't even describe how humbling it was.
We all thought as a management team that this is going to be the toughest game. The reputation of Stellenbosch is one of the best or strongest universities in the world. Just speaking to what's his name? Kevin. It's a mixture between their seconds and thirds, so really it's going to be their seconds. So they're still going to be a fucking, if we think what technically Cardiff Met's seconds would be, it'd be their champ squad. And there's not a huge difference between the champ and the BSR squad, so they're going to be fucking decent.
Guards mentioned that, it was going to be a serious test, and, Stellenbosch is probably one of the better universities to play against, especially in the Matthews Stadium. So everyone sort of switched on in that session. We had a very good session, actually. We sort of left the pitch pretty confident in ourselves. Obviously, we had all sorts of a mix of players, so lots of boys were quite nervous for it. Some of the more senior boys were trying to calm them down a little bit and sort of get everyone sort of on the same page.
One voice throughout the pitch, lads, when we're deciding stuff. We don't want to be fucking hectic like last time where it was everyone's cool and shit. One voice in the pitch at a time, lads.
Easy. Half us.
2, 3.
Enjoy yourselves. You'll never, in uni, and it's a genuine thing it says, you'll never remember lectures or anything like that. You'll remember nights out with your mates, and believe me, in 30 years' time, you'll remember this. You'll see each other in the streets, look each other in the eye, and you will remember this evening for what we'll share together. Enjoy every moment of it. It's a huge opportunity.
To one of the great stadiums in South Africa, one of the great amphitheatres, and an early try for the forwards, especially of Cardiff Met.
First half, we sort of started to sort of string some phases together. The set piece was going really well in the first half. There was a few little tussles with the opposition, but obviously that was sort of red rag to a bull with us lot, so we loved it.
Cheeky little one to the front, and a big carry to a metre out, and it's a try. As we head into half time, it's the visitors, Cardiff Met, who lead the Marty's All-Stars 14 points to 0.
Big team talk at half time, and then we came out, and to be fair to Stellenbosch, they brought a lot of intensity the second half. We definitely felt like the starting 20 minutes of the second half, we were definitely on the back foot.
Expansive rugby in the second half as that ball is falconed up into the arms.
He's in.
It's a kick to win it.
Stand there! Come on! Let's fucking go!
It was brilliant, and the change rooms afterwards, and just the whole experience of that evening, is one of the most memorable, rugby experiences I've ever had.
The performance. Oh wow! It was emotional. I get emotional thinking about it now.
You see the boys around campus, the boys that went on tour, and there's sort of a bit of a. We said this before actually. During tour, lots of the coaches said it. There's just sort of a look about each other. You sort of just look at each other and you sort of just know sort of how much fun. How much fun was had and sort of how special the experience was.
It's worth every penny. if you worked for that money through your job and you saved, if you fundraised it, it's worth the time and effort for it all. It was unbelievable. There was certain points in the tour which were just maybe a day that was worth the amount of money that it cost. It was unbelievable. It was a memory of a lifetime and experience I'll never forget.
Almost heaven, West Virginia.